Did you see what happened today? Yeah. It's okay if you missed it, if you didn't come up and join, because that doesn't stop you from being part of what God's really sharing. But the question is, what is it that God did? What is it that God's sharing with us? What are we being a part of? Because today, friends, I got to tell you, Jesus died on the cross and came back to life so that you can be part of a new religious institution that builds building and conducts worships. Yay! Yes? No. I mean, we live in the real world, so we can't help but create space where we can be what Christ is doing. But this space isn't what Jesus died for, and this space is not what Jesus rose for. And so we're working on our continual project of evangelism here. And when we talk about evangelism, we've talked about going out and doing the good things in the world, but we're beginning to get to the point where we got to talk about how are we going to share Jesus in speech as well. How are we going to talk about Jesus? So if someone asks you tomorrow what Jesus did and why you think everyone should be a part of it, what are you going to tell them about this whole Good Friday Easter thing? How did this thing make a difference in the world? Let me try some answers that have come up in Christianity through the years and see how they work. And these are answers, they're biblically based, they're good answers, there's nothing wrong with them. So why should I care? Well, Jesus died for our sins, freeing us from the death and the devil. Yeah? Everyone agrees? Jesus died for our sins, freeing us from death and devil. Uh-huh. So you're saying if I go to your church, I won't die? Well, no, that's not. Oh, so then you're saying that I'm controlled by the devil and I need Jesus to save me? Yes, that's what I'm saying. But you put it like that, it kind of sounds... So you're calling me a bad guy? You're saying that you think I'm a bad person? I thought we were friends. Okay, that didn't work out exactly as I thought it should. Let me try again. It's another answer that Christian tradition puts out there. Jesus paid the price for everything we've ever done wrong, and now God's forgiving everyone. We read that in our adult forum this morning, right? God's forgiving everyone. So you're saying Jesus and God are kind of like Santa Claus, and he's got a list of all my bad stuff? Well, yeah, I guess, but Jesus tore up the list. That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's good. That you mean now I can go around and do whatever I want and it's okay? No. You're supposed to do good, but you said I'm forgiven. You are, but I don't think that means you can do bad things. Look. So then you're saying that if I do something bad again, God's going to create a new list? Is that what you're trying to tell me? No, that's not how it works either. All right, well, I don't think I'm understanding, but see, even if I did believe in God, I'm not sure this story of yours makes any real difference for me. All right, so let's try this one then. This one will make a difference for you. Jesus lived and died so that we can learn how to be good people. Came to the world to show us what real love looks like. So that sounds good. But I really like what the Dalai Lama says so much better. I got to tell you, that guy, he's got it going. And I've got this self-help book right now that has done the world for me compared to what the Bible's ever done. At least my therapist says I'm getting better every day. So thanks. I'm good with what I've got. People, Jesus saved us. Now believe and receive God's grace. You feel moved? You feel the Spirit overwhelming you right now? Does no one need Jesus? Why does Jesus matter? This is the question, A, that if we go out there and start talking to other people, we're going to get asked, and B, we need to be able to answer. Why does Jesus matter? So let me back up and try to ask a different question. How does the world teach us to make sense of everything that's going on? I propose there's maybe about 3 different ways that we were taught. One is what I call the superhero framework. It's one of my favorites. I've talked about superheroes before. It's the guy, bad guy, hero, villain framework. There's good guys, there's bad guys, and then there's innocent people. We're all probably part of the innocent people, so our lives really don't matter, honestly. But the good guys and the bad guys, it's why we were told, the president was told, do not congratulate Putin on the victory, because Putin's a bad guy, and we don't congratulate bad guys. It's a pretty simple framework. We all understand it. America good, North Korea bad, Canadians innocent. We don't always agree on the categories of good and bad, but the details don't matter. There's that framework that just says there's good in this world, there's bad in this world, and we can separate people in those categories. And then there's that other framework that says we're all good and beautiful. Everyone is good and beautiful. This one gets spoken about in songs a lot. Christina Aguilera, 2002, I am beautiful in every single way. Lady Gaga, 2011, I'm beautiful in my way because God makes no mistakes. Baby, I was born this way. There's a third framework that goes something like, there really isn't good or evil, at least you can't categorize it that way. It's simply you get what you deserve, and if you didn't get what you deserve today, you're going to get it tomorrow. So live your life however you choose, and if you chose poorly, the results will show. But I gotta say, I don't think any of these frameworks help. And none of these frameworks fit what Jesus does, for sure. I mean, let's admit, first of all, I'm not a good guy, and I'm not a bad guy, and I'm definitely not innocent. I do something amazingly wrong, but I also do some things amazingly right. And I think that if Jesus were president today, he'd find a way to have dinner with Vladimir Putin, because he was known for eating with sinners and people everyone else thought were bad guys. And I think the world would not be able to stand that. But I think if Jesus were alive today, he'd find a way to sit down with the people who everyone else said, this is supposed to be your enemy. And I think that'd rub us pretty wrong. I love that we're beginning to wash away unwarranted prejudice in our country. But I've got to say, I'm not beautiful in every single way. I am beautiful, but I got my ugly parts. I've got my mistakes. And I don't know that Jesus ever came up to someone and said, it's because you're beautiful that I love you. And let's hope that I never get what I deserve. I've told you guys this before, but if I get the kid my parents have cursed me with, I hope you get one just like you someday. I'm going to have to quit my job as a minister and make full-time work of maintaining sanity while trying to raise a holy terror. But it's not just that. It's this whole idea that getting to what's coming to you is so defeatist that eventually karma's going to catch up with you, if that's what, I think that's basically what they're describing in some, whether it's not true karma or, just pop culture's version of it, but that's what they're describing. Because you know what's coming to us all? Taxes. Right, Lori? That and the other certainty. I feel like Jesus said, it's coming to you. So let's try to figure out how Christ makes a real difference for us. And let's start by saying, do you agree there's goodness in this world? Yeah? There is goodness in this world. Do you agree that there's beauty in this world? And do you all want to be part of the good and beautiful stuff? Yeah? Anyone want to be the bad guy? Who wants to be the bad guy here? Anyone? Oh, Andrew, good. So there's good and beauty in this world. And sometimes we encounter it, don't we? And sometimes we're part of it, and sometimes we live it. Yes? Sometimes I am the beauty in this world. But I never keep it. I keep messing up. Do you agree? Most of the time, I hit that good, beautiful spot once in a while, and then I lose it. And most of the time, I hide the fact that I messed up pretty well. No one knows it, but though honestly, it almost makes me feel worse because then I start carrying all that judgment inside myself. But when it gets shown I messed up, I don't just mess up. I tend to ruin everything all at once. And let's not mention the fact that I keep carrying around the mistakes that I made 10 years ago with people who I haven't seen in 10 years and will never hear from again in my life. But I still think about it. I'm not a bad person, right? You agree for yourselves. I'm not a bad person. I'm obviously not innocent, but I think on the whole I'm relatively good. See previous thought for evidence to the contrary. On the whole, I'm rather good, and most of the time I do feel pretty. Yet even on those good days, somehow someone, me or someone else, seems to ruin it. Growing up, kids made fun of me for being the teacher's pet. Like it was bad to be good. Who made up that rule? Betsy, you work with kids. Who made up the rule that it's bad to be good? And how did these kids figure that out? Or someone tells me how wonderful I am or how wonderful I did something. And my first reaction that I keep trying to get over and never seem to get over is, I pulled off a pretty good facade, didn't I? You didn't see all the bad stuff that happened, did you? I know what happened. I can't quite take that compliment. Or someone compliments me for how good I'm looking, and I don't know if they're actually complimenting me, or somehow it's a reverse compliment that's actually a judgment. Jim, you posted on my Facebook, someone looks really young. And I've gotten that compliment in really great ways, and I've gotten that compliment in really judgmental ways throughout my life. Of seriously, grow up. And I never know how to take that stuff. Because it feels like just in the end, there's no way I can win this game. I get to the good places once in a while, but I never get to maintain them. There's no way I can win this game. Somehow, even when I haven't failed, I still end up feeling like a failure. Real goodness somehow is this unreachable goal that even if I touch it for a moment, I lose it so quickly. how does Jesus address that? How does Jesus, the cross and the resurrection, address that? When we come to the cross, we hear a loud and clear statement that says, these games you keep playing, this is where they end. Every single one of them. You want to judge good between good and bad? It's going to go here. It's going to take everyone here. You want to claim that you're beautiful and make no mistakes? Well, that's a lie, and you're going to end up here. You want to just say everyone gets their just rewards? This is the just rewards. Look, if a righteous person can't escape this system and this game you're playing, and this is where the righteous person ends up, where are you going to go? So take all your failings and put them here, because that's where they end up. Take all your judgments, leave them here as well, because that's where they go. Take all the things you hide in fear or shame, put them here, because that's where they lead. Take all those things, those categories you put other people into, leave them here. Drop them right here and just leave them, because that's where they end. You want to talk about what Christian confession is supposed to be? That's Christian confession. I'm taking all of that and leaving it here. And then come to the resurrection, what John calls light, a new way of being, where God says, I have gotten out of the judgment game. I have gotten out of the game of determining who's good or evil, or whether you're pretty or not, or trying to appease someone else's definitions, or giving you your just completely gotten out of that game. And I ain't going to play it no more. The resurrection isn't a declaration that suddenly the world is completely good or beautiful. And it's not a denial of the fact that there are still things wrong. But it's a declaration that you, all of you, the parts you hide, the parts you show, the good, the bad, every little bit of it, God loves you fully. You don't have to hide anything from God. You don't have to pretend around God. You don't have to fear that God is going to look at you and check a mark on his list saying naughty. You are loved, the true you, without qualification, without judgment, without shame, without fear, without facade, without risk of losing that love. The is a declaration that God loves everything about you. Nothing you could ever do to get in the way of that love. There's nothing the world can do to get in the way of that love. And every time you come back and play those games again that says there's some reason I can find for whether or not you should or should not be loved, bring those back to the cross and leave them there. Because Christian forgiveness says, I no longer find a reason why you shouldn't be loved. I'm no longer even looking for them. That's Christian forgiveness. If we live in the light of this love, in the forgiveness of Christ, John says, that's when we discover ourselves living out the truth that washes away all sin. Because it's no longer in the game of deciding whether or not you're good or bad. And it's only in the game of loving the whole you. Imperfections and perfections all at once. That was 1 Peter, where he said, our call, like God did with us, is to go out and love one another, for love covers a multitude of sin. So get out of the game. Go to the cross, leave all your games there, drop them off, say, God, I've been playing these games, trying to decide whether or not I'm worthy of love, trying to decide whether or not someone else is worthy of love, and I'm just going to leave them here. And then I'm going to follow you into the light, where you have decided that I am always